Thank you for joining with me for the meditation for lesson 322. I can give up but what was never real. Please make yourself comfortable, close your eyes, take a big deep breath in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Feel all the tension leave your body. I sacrifice illusions, nothing more. And as illusions go, I find the gifts illusions tried to hide, awaiting me in shining welcome and in readiness to give God's ancient messages to me. His memory abides in every gift that I receive of Him, and every dream serves only to conceal the self which is God's only Son, the likeness of Himself, the Holy One who still abides in Him forever, as He still abides in me. Father, to you all sacrifice remains forever inconceivable, and so I cannot sacrifice except in dreams. As you created me, I can give up nothing you gave me. What you did not give has no reality. What loss can I anticipate except the loss of fear and the return of love into my mind? I can give up but what was never real. As we move into the silent meditation, let us go ahead and focus on this lesson or a mantra of your choice to help redirect your thoughts as you see them enter your mind. I can give up but what was never real. I can give up but what was never real. I can give up but what was never real. Lesson 322 and 323 deal with the important theme of sacrifice. While it is not a major theme in the workbook, it is prominent in the text and deserves some discussion here. Sacrifice is the reigning principle of the ego's thought system. If we are to get what we want, someone or something must be sacrificed, one or the other. In the beginning, it was God's love that was sacrificed in order to secure our individuality. Following the law of projection, once sacrifice was made real, we believed it would be used against us, and that God would in turn demand sacrifice of his sinful Son. Moreover, as the principle behind the birth of our individual identities, sacrifice also governs the world, not to mention being the ego's mode of self-preservation. Therefore, all selves emanating from that thought system share the belief that salvation means sacrifice. If, for example, the ego's God is to be saved from my sinful attack on him, he is going to demand I sacrifice. Thus we believe God asks us to give up something that is ours. This is the basis of many world religions and has been a crucial theme in Christianity. Jesus had to be sacrificed so we could be forgiven by God and share his eternal life. The ego thus has us believe that in order to retrieve God's love, we have to pay for it by returning the life we stole, thereby paradoxically regaining it in the hereafter. However, we do not want to give it all back because then we would disappear. And so we do it by piecemeal, a little bit of happiness, pleasure, or the body's blood, but never everything. Since we believe God demands we give back the separated selves we have judged to be real, Jesus needs to remind us that what we give up was never real. And so, salvation asks that we give up a thought system that was illusory from the beginning. Thus he explains in the text how his course requires almost nothing of you. It is impossible to imagine one that asks so little or could offer more. He tells us all he requires is for us to let go of the ego, which is inherently nothing. To us, of course, the ego is everything, and so letting it go is deemed sacrificial. People in religious life, and unfortunately this goes for students of A Course in Miracles as well, have shifted the focus of sacrifice from the content to the form. Consequently, they believe that God demands they give up pleasure, sex, food, money, and comfort. Thus does the ego twist the concept of sacrifice in its favor and has us give up certain behaviors, which leads us to believe we have accomplished something meaningful. However, the underlying ego thought system remains intact, the ego's motivation from the beginning. Jesus explains many times that the sacrifice has given rise to the strange idea of martyrdom, wherein we become martyred to salvation. That is why people struggle to give up addictions, habits, and relationships, for this they think is what is asked of them. However, if we give up form and retain the content, we have given up nothing. That does not mean that it is not helpful at times to change behavior. But if we do not change the mind's underlying thought system, changing behavior is only half the job, as Jesus says in this familiar passage on sickness, chapter 28, 2:11, 6, 7. The miracle is useless if you learn but that the body can be healed. For this is not the lesson it was sent to teach. The lesson is the mind was sick that thought the body could be sick. Projecting out its guilt caused nothing, and had no effects. All we give up is an illusion because God did not give up the separated self to us. What He did give, our identity as Christ, we can never lose. And what He did not give has no reality. That is why it is imperative for almost everyone in this world, whether they are religious or not, to believe in a God or some greater principle that gave them life. For the same reason, many students of A Course in Miracles have difficulty with the idea that God did not create this world, and why religions need to have God involved here in some way. If He did not give us the world or body, they have no reality, and so we can have no true existence here. Recognizing that we do not exist at all is our greatest fear. But we support, reinforce, and save our special identities by bringing God into them, believing we are born into this world as bodies that live lives deemed to be holy, part of an ongoing spiritual activity or divine process. It is terrifying to be told that God did not give us this body or our specialness. In truth, He gave us only Himself through extending His love, and this has nothing to do with the world or our illusory self. I can give up but what was never real. Thank you so much for joining with me and Ken Wapnick in his journey through A Course in Miracles workbook. I hope that you have a most beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.